I have a feeling that this could be one of the more important tips I share about speaking or making presentations, because as a speaker or presenter, it's very common to fear being misunderstood by the audience. But this is not just a communication issue, it's an attachment wound. And for those of us who care deeply and speak from conviction, being misunderstood doesn't just bruise our ego, it actually threatens our sense of belonging. And so we often soften or even silence ourselves. And we don't do this to deceive, but we do it rather to preserve the connection that we have with the audience. And you might be asking, okay, why being misunderstood is so hard for me? And that is because it touches one of the deepest human wounds, which is if I'm misunderstood, I will be alone. And if you are someone perceptive, emotionally attuned, articulate, then being misunderstood may feel like injustice, rejection, or even like an emotional exile. So you may tend to instinctively over-explain yourself, stay vague to avoid offending people, or even hide the parts that feel most sacred to you. And last but not the least, my favorite, you wait until your thoughts are perfectly clear. But in the end, this becomes a self-erasure strategy. So you delay your real voice to preserve this imagined harmony that you have with the audience. And at this point, I'd like to dig into why is this important to let go. Firstly, because you will be misunderstood, especially if you say something that matters. Some people will skim your meaning. Some will project their own stuff or issues onto your words. And some people will hear only what matches their own worldview or what suits best for them. But the cost of being misunderstood, no, the cost of being understood by everyone is often being diluted. Your message loses its significance. It becomes more vanilla. So what does it look like to actually make peace with this? Well, first, you accept that not everyone needs to get you for you to be real. You also trust that those who are meant to respond to you, they will. And you understand that misunderstanding is a sign that you're touching something actually deep. And over time, you gain resilience, not from perfection, but from being whole. Now, making peace with being misunderstood isn't about giving up on clarity. It's about giving up the illusion that full acceptance must come from every single person listening to you at that point. It's about kind of releasing the grip of perfection in the way you express yourself and trusting that those who need to hear us will meet us at least halfway. And in the end, the deeper risk isn't being misunderstood. I think the bigger risk in this picture is kind of abandoning the parts of ourselves that are most worth sharing, actually, just to be perceived more easily. And I think that's the biggest risk. And let's not forget that the real connection, it doesn't begin when everybody gets us. It doesn't begin when every single person in the room understands us. I think it happens when we are no longer betraying ourselves, trying to be understood in the first place.